The noise caused by seismic exploration for oil and gas is loud, pervasive, and continuous. During the ship's survey, seismic air guns produced intense pulsed noise every few seconds, often for weeks or months. Airgun pulses are so loud that they can travel through thousands of meters of water and penetrate tens to hundreds of kilometers into the Earth's crust. The echo reverberates from oil and gas deposits all the way back to the measuring devices at the surface. The noise can cause the marine environment to be heavily degraded over large areas, forcing some marine life to abandon their habitat. But what have studies on the impacts of seismic activity on marine life actually revealed?
For the environmental surveys, we looked at fish behavior, so we got to go out and tag some gummy sharks and swell sharks and flathead. We didn't find any evidence of impact on sharks. However, most of our sharks left the study area 2 days after we tagged them, before the seismic survey even got in the area. But what this means is that we had really low sample numbers, so statistically we couldn't prove one thing one way or another. We did a bunch of scallop dredging. We didn't find scallops in the region, and we didn't find any evidence of impact on our dredged scallops. However, this is probably one of the more definite things we can say, we did not find a sign of mass mortality. So we weren't trawling up empty shells like they did in 2010. Interestingly, when we started to look at the sea surface temperatures, so here you can see, this is the seismic lines in 2010, and these are different scallop beds. And when you match that, Zi Huang did this, when you match this with the sea surface temperature, these are anomalies over the average. You can see here, where we had the seismic survey happen, there was a huge peak of over 1 degree in temperature anomalies. So there was some warming waters then. And the scallop mortality event happened right after that. So we have this confounding potential stressor between the seismic survey and the sea surface temperatures.
In 2016 and 17, GA collaborated with the Japan Agency for Marine Earth Science and Technology, JAMSTEC, and undertook 2 marine seismic surveys to better understand the geology of the central Lord Howe Rise. What we do know is that the predominant frequency range of seismic surveys within the hearing range of all cetaceans and the majority of fishes. And it's also been shown to elicit a neurological response in some invertebrates and a physiological response in some invertebrates. Generally speaking, seismic noise has a range of physical effects. They can range from physical, so permanent or temporary threshold shifts in the hearing of a whale, for instance, to behavioural, so modification of swimming patterns, perceptual. They can be indirect, so affecting the food source for that animal. Having said that, there's still so many knowledge gaps in our understanding about the effects of noise on marine fauna, and this is particularly the case for fish and invertebrates.
With the correct risk mitigation in place, seismic surveying can be of benefit without harming the ocean. But marine conservation must be a top priority in order for this human exercise not to cause more harm to the environment. Liak Tobias for CI Radio News.